You know, when you really think about it, so much of life depends not just on what you do, but on what everyone else does, right? From business deals to global politics, we're all playing these complex games of strategy. So today, we're going to dive into the powerful toolkit that helps us understand these games and maybe even make a few smarter moves along the way.
So let's jump right in. Picture this. You're in an interrogation room. You've been separated from your partner in crime. The cops come in and they make you an offer, a deal. They say, look, if you betray your partner and they stay quiet, you walk free. Simple as that. But if you both betray each other, you both get a medium sentence. And here's the kicker. If you stay silent and your partner sells you out, you get the maximum sentence. So what do you do?
This little scenario, it's the famous prisoner's dilemma, and it's a classic for a reason. It perfectly captures just how complicated strategic choices can be.
Okay, let's break down the options here, thinking only about what's best for you. First, let's say your accomplice stays silent. What are your choices? Well, you could stay silent too, and you both get 2 years. Or you could betray them and walk away completely free. In that case, betrayal is a no-brainer. Okay, now let's imagine your accomplice betrays you. If you stay silent, you're taking the fall for 10 long years. But if you betray them too, you only serve 5. So again, betrayal is the better choice for you.
See what happened there? Betraying your partner gives you a better outcome personally, no matter what they decide to do. This is what we call a dominant strategy. And that's the trap, because even though the best outcome for the group is for you both to cooperate and stay silent, that individual incentive to protect yourself by betraying it's incredibly powerful. That outcome, where both of you betray each other, has a special name. It's a Nash equilibrium. It's considered a stable state because once you're there, neither of you has any reason to change your mind, at least not on your own. Think about it. If you're both betraying and you suddenly decide to switch to staying silent, your sentence actually gets worse, not better. You're stuck. And this, right here, is the absolute heart of game theory. It's all about making the best possible decision for yourself when your success is completely tangled up with the decisions of other people. It's a whole new way of looking at the world.
So really, every game, whether it's in a police station or a boardroom, has 3 core parts. You've got the players, the decision makers. In our case, that's you and your accomplice. You've got the strategies, the plans of action. For you, it was either betray or stay silent. And finally, you've got the payoffs, the outcomes. Here, it was the number of years in jail.
Okay, so let's take these ideas out of the interrogation room and into the real world. Because in industries where just a few huge companies call the shots, think automakers or cell phone providers, we see this high-stakes strategic battlefield called an oligopoly.
Now, economists have 2 main ways of looking at these markets. First, you have the Cournot model. This is where companies compete on quantity. They decide how much of their product to make. That usually leads to pretty stable production and prices. But then you have the Bertrand model, where they compete on price. And that can lead to some really aggressive price wars, driving profits way, way down. So the whole game changes depending on whether they're fighting over volume or price tags.
And this isn't just theory, right? You see these games everywhere. Ever notice 2 major airlines getting into a crazy price war over the same flight route? Yep, that's a Bertrand game right there. And when the world's biggest tech companies are carefully planning how many new chips to produce next year, that's a Cournot game in action.
All right, let's switch arenas to another high-stakes game, the auction. From priceless art to those ads you see online, auctions are just a fascinating playground for game theory.
We all know the classic English auction. The price starts low and just keeps climbing. It's all happening in real time. You're watching your rivals, trying to read their moves. It's a totally open and pretty intense game of nerves.
But what if you couldn't see what anyone else was bidding? In a first-price sealed bid auction, everyone submits one secret bid. The highest bid wins, and the winner pays whatever they bid. The challenge here is huge. You have to bid high enough to beat everyone else, but not so high that you end up paying way more than you should have. It's a total game of guesswork and psychology.
Okay, now for a really cool twist. It's called the Vickrey auction. It's also a sealed bid auction, but get this, the winner pays the price of the second highest bid. That's right, what the top loser bid. And this one simple change to the rules completely transforms the strategy.
Because in a Vickrey auction, the absolute best strategy is surprisingly simple. You just bid your true, honest valuation. Let's think about why. The price you actually pay isn't set by your bid, it's set by the next person's.
So bidding higher than what you think it's worth only risks you overpaying if you win. And bidding lower only hurts your chance of winning in the first place. Your best move is just to be truthful. The rules of the game itself actually force honesty. It's brilliant.
So we've seen how game theory works with individuals and businesses. But what happens when the players are entire countries and the stakes are, well, the future of the entire planet?
Let's talk about public goods. Things like clean air or national security. These are resources we all benefit from, whether we pay for them or not. And that creates a huge strategic problem, the free rider incentive. Basically, why should I contribute if I can get all the benefits for free?
And this is where it all comes full circle, right back to that interrogation room we started in, because the tragedy of the commons is basically just a giant multiplayer prisoner's dilemma. It's the same cold, hard logic where everyone acting in their own self-interest leads to a terrible outcome for the whole group.
Just think about overfishing. For any single fishing captain, the most rational move is to catch as many fish as they possibly can to maximize their own profit. But when every single captain makes that same rational choice, the fish population collapses. And that doesn't just mean fewer fish next year. It means entire coastal economies can be wiped out. Livelihoods just disappear, and a critical food source is lost for good. It's a perfect and truly tragic example of a global prisoner's dilemma.
Now, the insights we've gone through here are drawn from some great research by the Social Science Chronicle, which really dives into how these strategic models shape our world.
So from a prison cell to the global stage, we're all players in these strategic games. And it leaves us with one heck of a question to think about. In a world full of these games, is the best move to compete as hard as you can within the rules, or is it to work together to change the rules of the game itself?